ass up out of here.
So that means he's finna destroy Vegas.
America.
America.
The whole, because Vegas is just a microcosm of what's happening in America.
That's true.
It's just all the shit that happens in America is concentrated right here.
Sin City.
It's concentrated right here, right? But it's also in other parts of the world as well. So all that got to be
Louisiana for Mardi Gras, how they be out there drunk, butt naked.
America, every inch of America is going to feel fire. It's going to burn. Every little thing we see is going to be demolished.
Yeah, it's gonna melt with
like
fire.
all this shit, this metal, you know, all that shit's going to be just it's going to be a biggest desert. The scriptures say that the smoke shall go up forever, meaning a long time. It's like it's going to be like a big ass bonfire. Like it says, the lake of fire, like
that smoke from the towers.
Yeah.
but imagine
in New York,
hundreds of years later, you're like, damn,
that shit's still there,
man. You know, not weeks, but years, eons.
Burn up.
You know, continually going. You know?
I got one question.
Yeah.
Man, I know all of this is relative to my purpose. So like how do I find my purpose, bro, within this, bro? Because if I'm not necessarily gonna be with a camp, bro, and I know based on what y'all just read and what y'all had me break down along with y'all, that I at least gotta speak. You know, I gotta teach this word to a degree, or whatever degree that calls for my gift or my purpose. You know what I'm saying? How do I figure that out, man? How do I still find my purpose, bro? You know what I'm saying? I know the Most High brought me over here to y'all, bro. I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Who's about to get the answer?
Ezekiel 2 and is it 2, bro?
I think it might be 3. At the top of
I think it's
So you the whole row?
yep, con. This is Ezekiel 3 and verse 2. Start 1. Yeah, I'll start 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll.
What you find is what you can understand in this thing. But it's telling you to eat the whole thing. So basically,
3 and what? Ezekiel
3 and 1. The top, yeah.
Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man.
You can just read it aloud. Just read it aloud.
Want me to read it?
Just read it aloud. So you read it for yourself and out loud.
Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest.
What you find is what you're able to understand.
Right. Eat this
roll.
Eat this roll and go.
Like a scroll or this word, you know.
Right. Speak unto the house of Yasharallah. So I opened my mouth. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll.
Right. And they tell you to eat the whole roll, right? Eat
just shove this in your mouth.
Keep studying what you understand 100%. Go out and teach that.
Right.
Okay?
To be real with you, see, the Spirit did come upon us to get this, but we were also taught this.
Right.
Right.
Right where I'm
we
at.
came up under teachers.
Yep.
So that's the reason why. That's why we're at camp.
It's on for now. It's on the internet.
Yeah,
right?
on
YouTube.
Right. I'm just posting with
So
you.
you're supposed to, whoever is your teacher, that's who you come up under. That's when you get the doctrine, you stick with that doctrine, and what they teach, you teach.
Follow along with that.
Just like somebody give me 2 Timothy 2.
Yep.
And then once you say, like the brother said,
Yeah, I know.
Second Timothy 2?
Yeah.
2 Timothy 2 and 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 Timothy 2 verse 2. And the things that thou hast heard of me amongst many.
What's the first verse?
For some man be strong in grace.
Yeah, read that. In.
2 Timothy 2 and 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahawashi.
Yeah, if you were given this word, you know you got to do something with it, right?
For sure.
So be strong in it. Don't take it as a light thing.
That's right.
Take it seriously. Because your life depends on it. If this was given to you, it wasn't given to you by accident or I just wanted you to see it, but it was not. No, it's for you if you got it, right?
And when you begin to learn, you're going to be a parrot, so to speak. But then once you get into this, when the real mysteries begin to be revealed to you, you see more precepts that line up. You get some of the meat, but you still want to stick to the milk. You know, you may get a little portion of meat that you understand that the Most High reveals to you, but you still want to always hit the milk. Stay in the milk.
You need the other levels of it, man, to break down and digest. that
And
heavy.
this is an order too, by the way.
Yeah.
Certain things that if it doesn't come from the top,
Yeah.
if the
Don't
elder
teach it.
apostles don't teach that, you're not to
Teach.
teach that.
Yeah.
You know,
Your teachers ain't teaching
they
it.
done been there, they done done that. You know, they done heard all type of crazy doctrines out there.
And
Yeah.
we have at Great Millstone, we can ask questions. We ask, hey, what does this mean? Because, could you break this verse down? 'Cause all I know is this, and this. And they'll go into it. Most times they go into it.
But that was
No,
more.
no,
Yes,
yeah,
more,
yeah,
please,
yeah.
one more.
And also get 1 Timothy 1:3 and 4.
And the thing that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men.
That's the many witnesses. You look at, particularly from the inside of Great Millstone, the many witnesses are the fruit that came from the apostles and the elders. That fruit, those are our witnesses that are true. Take what they got, and what they're teaching, and start teaching those same things with the same message of it. You may not teach it in the same words, but the same message.
Right.
Like you said, you may begin as a parent, but eventually you're going to have your own personal spiritual leader to put on it, but it's still revealing the same message.
Yeah. Hey, like what I
takes time
said
to find
about
that
the exact, like you gonna have to wisdom is going like the scripture say, wisdom meets you is to see if it walks with you, because it doesn't dwell in a malicious soul, right? So then with that, you're gonna experience your own experiences within the word that coincides exactly with what the scriptures say.
It's going to help you. It's going to help you grow in this.
Your own
Also,
experiences will
Kind.
you'll be able to teach off of your own experiences also as you gain more experience.
Yep.
Finish that up for this brother, bro.
and the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also.
Yep, that's the point.
Yep.
That they may teach others also. Now go to Timothy
First,
1 and
his
3.
brother was home.
Oh, he was holding it. Get there.
1 Timothy 1 and 3, chapter
Yeah.
1, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 3. It shall I besought thee to abide still at Ephesus when I went into Macedonia, that thou mightest charge some that they teach no other doctrine.
Charge some that they teach no other doctrine. Meaning don't teach anything different than what you hear me teach the church.
Yep.
You know, we got to make sure that order so that there be no confusion. And that's the reason why we don't get together with these other groups, because they all speak in different stuff.
Yep.
Scriptures say we must speak the same thing.
Yep.
Now, do we appreciate what those brothers are doing?
One second.
Hold on, sir. We'll get to you in a second, okay? We don't hate the other camp over there.
Yeah,
We
they're still
appreciate them.
laboring.
They preach
Yeah,
Israel.
we
They're pushing
appreciate
Israel.
them. You know, we exactly what just
If
happened.
one
to
of
you.
them come by, hey,
Shalom,
shalom,
bro.
brother.
You know?
We'll salute.
And if they be like, nah, we should be together. What you teach on this, and this. Because we kind of know where your doctrine, dwells at.
Right.
So what you think about Cornelius? He was Italian. What kind of Italian? A citizen or was he an Israelite? Well,
Right.
we don't
Gentile,
really
right?
teach on it. And they said this literally, right? We don't really teach that.
Talking about Mount Zion.
I believe it was them.
We don't know if it was.
It was one of the
think so.
groups that, but
But I know
basically they just said
HOI.
They're just,
Right.
when it comes to Cornelius,
they don't.
they've always been kind of indirect.
It was one of the groups that was out there. I'm not. It may be them. It may not. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember saying. But just simply saying. using that
GOCC out here too.
as an example.
I don't know.
He was like, "What do you think about that?" Well, okay. Well, shalom, bro. We ain't gonna click up though.
Because he
He like, yeah,
he didn't want to get into
you don't
he didn't want to get
understand
into the
this
mark.
thing. He didn't want. Yeah, he didn't want to talk about it.
But hey, bros, I'm a what you call a Roman Catholic.
Oh, we're not doing that over here. You can go. It's okay. Thank you. We're talking about something else up here, so
But it comes from the Bible.
that's okay.
No,
That's okay.
not Catholic. Catholic that's not supported by the Bible. You know what the word Catholic means?
No, you don't know that word.
Yeah, kind.
No, you talk that.
It means universal.
Kind.
The Lord, his ministry is not to the universe.
Right.
Holy and
It's only
separate.
to the nation of Israel.
That's right.
That's what the gospel is preached to.
That's what you did, right?
Well,
Okay, thank you. Have a good one, sir.
I got it preached.
Hit it, bro.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of
If
Yahweh.
your foundation is off, if you saying that Cornelius is anything else but a Jake, the doctrine's off. The foundation got holes in it, man. It ain't gonna stand forever. It's gonna come to a point where something. Because if you say he's anything but a Jake, you're saying a heathen can make it.
Yes.
But even if it's just this one heathen, any heathen that's open now, you've opened it. The doctrine's off. And that's why I was telling the guy that was here earlier about the math, the algebra equation.
Oh yeah.
I brought up an algebra and said, all you need to know is certain variables, and you can figure the rest of the sequence out.
Yep.
Once you know the key variable, it unlocks everything in the sequence. If you know that he's only dealing with Israel, and he's not dealing with nobody else, you don't ever have to worry about who can get salvation, who Cornelius was, or any of that other stuff.
This was Jake.
It was an Edomite, probably an Edomite that was up here earlier, right? But he was like, yeah, but how do you, hey man, because once you know the equation of this thing, you pretty much know how this is gonna go. He's not talking to nobody, and then once you know that he's only dealing with Israel, then you find out he's only dealing with an elect of Israel.
Right.
So I don't care if you're a Jake or if you're an Edomite. You ain't got the word in you. the physical moniker that you know is that you got this word with the name and the breakdowns and all that is in you. And the passion for it behind, the zeal of it. That's how I know. I don't care what you look like. There's brothers in Great Millstone that look like Edomites, that look like Japhites, that's Jake. Fiery spirits, man, on point with everything. Faith, out there doing their deal, out there fighting for their salvation. Diligently doing their thing, man. And you can't question that. You have to roll with it because that's the body. And when you know these men like that, you would never question it, man. That's why I use the analogy of some people in the world. You got that one white friend that could use the word nigga, and it's cool because it comes from the same place it's supposed to come from. Because he's a part of it. Because his spirit is in it. Now before I learned the truth, I knew there was certain acceptances, exceptions to the rule. Over, anybody else, hey, nigga, hey, we about to whoop your ass. Hey, my niggas, what's up, man? What you niggas doing? Gary Owens is a prime example. His fucking wife is a nigga woman, man.
That part is true.
Not that makes him a Jake because he has a wife that's a black woman. But when you, even though he played a whole white angle really good, you can tell what's really in his spirit when he tell his comedy. Gary Owens is a so-called white comic, right? You can see what's in him.
Hey, musicians.
Oh man, that's
artists.
all day.
Tina Marie.
Man, you know what Tina Marie is?
Eminem.
They called her white chocolate, vanilla chocolate. They called her vanilla chocolate. White chocolate.
Talking about from the
and one.
He wasn't even in one.
And then what was it? It's a R&B group for the women. The Spice Girls or something like that, or
I know you talking about
Vanilla and Ice or some shit like
Vanilla,
that.
I don't know, but maybe.
No, it's like Salt and Pepper or something. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying.
No, not Vanilla Ice.
But you can kind of read
the spirit.
Their spirit. But the thing that we truly judge by is how, if they fit the not necessarily the curses, but the things, if they have that zeal for the Most High and real passionate about it, if they vibe with Jake like that, you see them mingling like Bruce Lee. We always use Bruce Lee. Fucking best friend, one of his best friends was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The dude hated white people. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
He didn't, not that he hated them, but he was like,
Yeah,
I know
right.
who y'all are.
On me.
He became a Muslim because at the time was a direct opposition to whites.
Yeah.
Like
Muhammad Ali.
Ali and all of them guys, Malcolm X and all those guys were doing all of that, right? So you start picking up on certain things, and then his vibe, you can see. How come there ain't been another martial artist like Bruce Lee? This dude had bounce, he had rhythm. He was a great dancer, they say. He was a murderer.
He did kind
cha-cha.
of like Bob and Jig.
And even the way he spoke.
A lot of spiritual jewels that he would say that's even biblical.
So things like that is how you start to learn and discern the spirits of certain people. But the one thing that we for surely go by is this, because nothing else matters. If they ain't fighting for their salvation, when they be Yahweh Shem Shah, it don't care if you're a Jake or
The
230.
spirit bear witness
With our spirit.
Get Amos 9 and 9.
It's like the average white band.
Average white band is not white.
Yeah, oh, them Jakes, bro.
So the Bee Gees are not
Yeah,
white. The Doobie Brothers are not
The
white.
scriptures say
Or is that like an
Jake.
inside
Jake.
joke?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
the scriptures talk about how we're a lively people.
Yep.
Yep.
We're like
The salt.
lively stones. We're
Yeah.
the salt of the earth.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
we got
right.
So
flavor like that.
we have flavor, we have rhythm, you know,
John
there's a certain way
Travolta
we
is not a white guy.
aura that we
He not?
carry.
He ain't no Edomite.
No, bro.
John Travolta
I
not
mean,
an Edomite.
you don't know as so I don't mean to cut you off. My bad.
Go ahead.
But I don't, you know. But just to say, if you've seen Saturday Night Fever, and then I forgot the name of the other one. He had
Saturday
both-
Night Live.
It was
No,
both.
no.
It was 2 movies he did, but he, you know, this is before your time. But he was in those movies as a dancer, dancing like Jake danced back in the days. Like he danced like he got like you see it in my thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Dave
yeah.
And
Chappelle
real
did the
stiff.
joke.
And real
Yeah, yeah.
stiff, you know.
Dave Chappelle did the joke on it. He said it's just that they're different.
Still as fuck.
He tried to make it funny, and he was like, they listening to other things when they might listen to music. Jake like the heavy, deeper
Like,
parts
you-
of the music,
you
the
know
more
how-
rhythm. of
Right,
it.
he can
You,
deep man.
you know how
hard
Jake,
move.
you hear a song, you hear a beat, how Jake can catch the rhythm,
Yeah, he's vibing to it,
like
catch
you know. But Edomites, they just can't get it. They don't got the.
They off
That's
beat.
crazy.
They offbeat.
What
They
is that,
offbeat
though? What
naturally.
is that? Like,
They got the spirit of the devil in them. Right?
But it's salt flavor.
oh, bro.
I didn't mean to cut off.
We're vibrant,
Kind.
you know, because our spirits, our souls are connected to the Most High.
Man, that's beautiful.
We're an artsy, we're an artful people, you know.
Yep.
We're
We
people
go deep on little
of
shit.
talent, art, war,
Poetry.
poetry, music. Like
Right.
we're all of that, man. That's our heritage, man.
Right.
Kings, priests, musicians,
Yeah.
Everything you see around.
martial artists,
Writers,
warriors,
poets,
Kind.
you know,
poets,
all that stuff.
philosophers,
Yeah.
I
scholars.
was gonna say rappers.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that, but
Hey,
like
Jake
musicians.
own every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Kind.
MCs, lyricists.
Yeah.
That's
All
us.
that.
That's
That's
us.
all it is.
It's this.
Yeah,
You ever
kind.
see Hamites dance?
Well, yeah,
I mean, they got their own little move,
Bro,
but I don't
but-
dance.
but-
We don't
but
dance
the
like
main
that.
thing
vibe
you
with-
see,
you vibe with
the
that.
main this is
I can't.
this is the main thing you see when you see Hamites dancing.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
yeah.
it bounce just
Nah.
like that, bro. That's-
And they do
that's-
that shit good, but it's like
They be
Some-
getting-
some
hey,
about when
they
they
be high as
you
hell.
get high as a motherfucker, man. I'm like, this motherfucker do a 360 Vince Carter.
Jake, you know,
He got that.
top
rhythm
blocking
about
and
him.
shit, moving every.
Hey, you talking about how they
joint,
be kicking
body
the dust,
part,
bro? And they,
all that.
he said,
Jake just two
All
step.
that, bro.
that's crazy.
Jake find a rhythm and roll with that, man. Let's see what this brother got.
Kind.
Jeremiah 12:9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
Kind.
Yeah. And so our people are wide range, so they look like a whole bunch of different things, different types of people. But the one thing you can't deny about us is the spirit that we have within us. You know, hey, y'all seen you seen the Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah. With,
Right?
what is it?
DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
We weren't pop locking like what, the Ozone and Turbo. You didn't see that part?
He was off the Quaaludes though.
He was acting, but still, it's a movie.
So he really had to do that.
Yeah.
You can't learn that and be that fluid with it. He was getting it. He only had it like 2-3 seconds. But you gotta remember that he was doing that. You know? He really had to do that, whether he was really on that or not.
Hey, what's
He still had to come from within. That's where dancing comes
what's
from.
her name? Is it Cameron Diaz?
Cameron
Yeah,
Diaz,
yeah, Jake.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's Manasseh.
She looks like a
Blonde hair, yeah,
blue-eyed
blonde.
Edomite.
Right. Straight up.
Straight up, yeah.
Straight up. And we
That
always
one
bring up
actress
Blake,
from that
Blake
was on
Griffin, son.
that
With
movie.
him?
She was in the Book of Eli.
Oh yeah, you talking about
Mila Kunis?
Mila Kunis.
Was it her?
The main chick.
Yeah,
No,
cool.
or the one that was
She was
blind,
Russian, actually.
or the one that was blind too. I mean the one that
daughter
got the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Daughter,
kind.
right?
she's a Jake.
That's right.
And she's like
she's
his
like Russian.
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
goes or Slavic or something
Something
like
like
that.
that, yeah.
Something I don't remember exactly what her name, but she speaks that other language too. But when you go into how she get down, man, you do have to tighten it up. Dealing with Esau, you know, when you dealing they arenas,
Yeah.
you gotta tighten. Blake Griffin.
Like Griffin, he a brother though, ain't he?
Look like that's what I'm saying. He looked like a white boy.
Like,
you
you
know,
see his son.
But his
Yeah,
son,
look white.
blonde hair, blue eye. But his grandfather Blake Griffiths and them dad.
Yeah, they Jakes, huh?
Benjamin, man.
Yeah, con.
Benjamin, straight from the island.
Jennifer Beals.
Oh,
Jennifer
Jennifer
Beals.
Beals.
Jennifer Beals.
Oh, that was the mother.
Yeah,
the mom, the
con,
mom.
con.
Mother, oh, okay.
Her
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, she like Edomite in the movie.
And you know,
She like an Edomite in the movie, right?
Mulatto.
yeah, I was just about to say
Her,
that.
her,
Mulatto.
fa- her
Mulatto.
father's a straight Negro.
Yep. Mulatto. Yep.
But she, you look at her and be like, she kind of, you know.
But Lisa Bonet, I heard she was Edomite. I'm just saying. Better than that, her husband, her ex-husband, Lenny Kravitz. His daddy was straight.
I think
Amalek.
Lisa Bonet, no, I think her father's a Jacob, mama's a Edomite.
I wasn't sure, but
Lenny
she
Kravitz
was in
for
that,
sure.
She was in that Jewish. She was Jewish though. I wasn't sure. They said that that's what they identified. I wasn't sure what it was, but I know for certain Lenny Kravitz. His name is Kravitz. You almost have to say it. We say it like Jacob, Lenny Kravitz. No, it's Lenny Kravitz. That's how those Jewish Edomites would say it.
Ashkenazis.
That's how they say it, Kravitz, right? And his mother was the white woman. Remember the black woman that had the white husband on the Jefferson? She really did that in real life. You know, if you were to Google Lenny Kravitz and his father, you know all that white man.
Yeah. Kenny Loggins.
It might be a Jake, bro. You got a little song.
He might be, bro.
It's Isaiah 61, verse 9. It says, and their seed shall be known among the Gentiles,
Yep.
Yep.
and their offspring among the people.
Yeah.
All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which the Lord hath blessed. Our seed is mingled among everybody, you know?
And we still go through the same curses.
Yeah, con.
We still, no matter what we look like, our people can't escape these curses because that's the main thing that's on our people that we can even.
And they
Don't
trying
say
to
that
so
in-
hard, though.
Where's it at?
I got a pretty good too.
Is that in Deuteronomy, like 30 or 29 or something like that, where it said this will be a sign? The curse basically said the curse will be a sign of the people in that day.
And that's in the curse.
That's in the curse. That's
28,
right.
64.
Right.
Yeah.
It's up higher than that.
It's like in the-
50
like in
or
the
40s.
40s?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking of
Like
scattered
46,
us
somewhere like
amongst
that,
all
right?
nations.
Yep.
You got it.
It's a
Yeah, it
pretty.
is. You're right.
Hosea 8:8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein no pleasure.
Yep.
So that's the Most High scattering us
Yep.
amongst the Gentiles.
And then once you
Ain't the
scatter them,
Gentiles the Israelites that were scattered among?
well, there's
There's
two
two.
Gentiles.
There's two.
There's two Gentiles.
Okay.
Okay, there's the natural Gentiles, which are the other heathen nations,
Right.
and then there's the Israelite foreigners
Which are
that are in a Gentile state of mind,
Like
That were scattered
that's scattered amongst the other nations that follow their customs and look even possibly like the other nations.
so the first Gentiles will be the heathen nations,
Yeah.
Right,
and then
because
Gen-
no, keep going. Go
and then
ahead.
the Gentiles that are talking about the Israelites scattered. That those are the Israelites that are scattered amongst or mingled in with the heathen nations.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And may even look like them and follow their customs and everything. Because when you go into the book of Acts, the second
Gentiles
chapter,
are scattered among the heathens. Is that what it said?
in Acts,
No.
Acts is
Acts is talking about.
yeah, Acts
Go
is
ahead.
talking about when the people from the different tongues and languages came up to Jerusalem
Yeah.
at the time of Pentecost
Yeah,
and
kind.
heard the disciples
Speaking in tongues.
in their own tongues,
Kind.
in the languages of the land that they lived in.
Right.
But they agreed with it, so those were Israelites.
Right.
You see? And see, that's why when I read, I had the brother read Isaiah the 28th chapter about precept upon precept, that they would be snared, taken, and trapped, and all of that.
Yep.
Because they can't, those two Gentiles, you read it in the English, you don't catch the difference. You get caught up thinking it's the same people. Oh, so he loves them. No. Those are his own. And that's the real gospel. The real gospel is those that don't know they're Israelites will now come back into the fold of being Israelites.
Right.
Hey,
Let's
con.
get that in Amos 9 and 9.
falls
Bible
under
says.
It's Amos 9:9.
He had
Right, the wild olive branch. Boom.
They
Come.
got grafted in.
Yep.
For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like corn is sifted in a
He's
sieve.
going to sift the other nations to pull out the Israelites out of those
The
nations.
parable of the wheat and
like a
What you say?
Yet, I was talking about like a like a strainer,
yeah.
Yeah.
like that, so. You put Israel in the strainer and he's just shaking
60
it.
nations in the strainer.
60 nations in the strainer.
And Israel's going to remain in the...
in something like a colander with the spaghetti.
Right,
and all
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Exactly.
All right, word up.
Finish this. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
But all the Israelites going to be gathered back and brought back into the
And
fold.
they gonna
100% of
What are
them.
they being gathered with?
Word.
This
His
word.
The word is gathering the elect, so they're gonna come from all over. They're gonna, if the Lord sealed them, they're gonna gravitate to this truth, no matter where on the planet they're located. It's basically gonna work like a magnet to all the elect that are scattered all over the planet. You know?
And when and the ones
And they're gonna come looking like everybody that they've been mingling with.
that's right.
Their father's been mingling with the women of that nation, speaking their language. They're gonna hear this and be like, oh, I heard something. And they're gonna gravitate.
I've been watching. I've been listening for a while.
I've been listening.
And
Hey,
I
there's
kind
other
of did my
languages.
search. I had to go and ask my father certain questions and
Was that
his
Bolivia?
father and all that.
Was that Bolivia or was it camp? I saw a video. I think a brother posted. He was like, I forgot which country. I think it was Bolivia though. They said they learned by watching the subtitles.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
learn the word by watching the subtitles,
Right. Yeah.
so they can get in their own language. The YouTube subtitles
Got it.
taught them the word,
No doubt.
but they got it though. The point is they got the word,
Yep,
so
yep.
those are jakes, no matter what they
It's
look
spread.
like.
It spread, man.
Yeah.
This is why Esau is working to get us off of YouTube.
And then you know what that's going to
Yeah,
do?
yeah, yeah, man,
that's going to. He said they learning the subtitles. Once they receive the word and get the word,
Now
they're
they-
going to go speak it in their language.
Yep. To
And then
Already
to us, the people in
translated.
Bolivia or surrounding countries,
Already
and then
tongue.
they're going to bring them in through the word, through their own language, and it's just that's part of that sifting process. That's part of the spreading of this word, this gospel.
Bring them in or condemn them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if he rejects it, then hey, he's
You did, yeah.
Yep.
You warned them, they didn't take heed. Blood's off their hands.
Con,
You gotta be.
Psalms 19 and 2.
the spirit.
Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
Yep.
There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard.
There's no excuse.
Their
For
lo-
nobody else like it. There's no excuse for anybody on the planet because it's gonna be said in your language. There's people in French speaking it, Italian, German, Cantonese,
Hey,
Sign
the
language.
brother sign language.
sign language.
Con.
We know
Yeah, bro.
English is covered. Right?
German.
Slang is covered. You know what I mean? Like we got Ebonics covered. We got it all covered. And any type of hood language, whatever, we got it all covered in all the languages. So there's no excuse for you not to unless it's not meant for you.
I think you made a mention a while ago. All these languages, they still call them the one name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then the Hebrew, they
Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew.
Yeah.
That's one Kadash.
because one of the arguments in not teaching the name was, well, how are we supposed to teach them the name when they only speak patois or whatever, right?
Con.
Well, you still say it in the name that we don't say it in English. We
Con.
say it in the Hebrew also. You just put the name in there, the transliteration of the name in
Yeah.
there.
Right.
The
Con.
way that you would say it, that he's gonna hear it regardless.
it's simple. You teach it.
That's it.
Teach it.
That's it, bro. That's it.
Come on, man.
Because see,
Their line is going out through all the earth,
online, the internet, yep.
and their words to the end of the world. And
World Wide Web.
Con.
Unicorn.
Con.
in them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun.
Yeah, he set up a house that you can go up to and learn all day and night in any language,
Con.
anywhere in the earth. You know, so that's how this thing works. That's why this thing works. And the apostles always say, Apostle Tahar, he says,
Deuteronomy 30.
the internet has done the heavy lifting. We don't have to travel and do the same journeys that Paul did, because we're not just in those lands where we're in that region no more. We're all over the world. We're all over the world. There's people that need to get sifted out of Antarctica.
Right.
I don't know.
Tokyo.
I'm just saying everywhere, different land in the world. They're on deserted
Land of
islands
Ammon.
somewhere.
Off topic.
Everywhere.
The Melchizedek priesthood. Now, I was reading earlier, and it just came to me the question. Yahushua is the
Yeah, Melchizedek.
Melchizedek priesthood, and that's with the 144,000 Arav.
Us out here teaching have that priesthood
Con.
also.
Con.
Because the priesthood was only for the Levites, but I'm not a Levite.
Con.
It's Melchizedek. Melchizedek is Yahweh, right?
Yeah.
In the reincarnation.
All right.
Right. So that he opened it up.
He extended the priesthood
Right,
to all the tribes.
Right. That's why we'll be a kingdom of
Priests. Yeah.
not
Kings,
just
kings and priests.
have priests in one
That's what I was looking
tribe.
All right.
Now we all can offer up sacrifices
Kind.
through Yahweh Shai.
Right.
When he got not resurrected, but when he died on the cross, the temple ring, the veil of the temple ring, and because that was a part of the temple, the entrance into the Holy of Holies. Only the priests were able to go into the Holy of Holies to offer up sacrifice. So that represented basically the Lord took that veil away. So now we all have access to
And that was
to sacrifice. Yeah.
fulfillment.
Yep.
Who had us in Psalm something?
No,
This brother-
Deuteronomy 30.
Is that Deuteronomy? You got it. It's ready.
Yeah, you can start at the top.
I'll just start at Deuteronomy.
Because this is one of the things that our people around the world is going to consider when they first, come into this thing. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse
The blessing and the curse. Go ahead.
which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy power hath driven thee.
So basically, they're going to be able to identify with, their living conditions, their status in the world, the fact that they're catching hell, they're in captivity. They don't have their own sovereignty, so to speak. They're outcasted. You got like for example, among the East Indians, you have what you call the untouchables. Those are actually Israelites that are amongst the East Indians. You can look them up.
Okay, I will.
Read those in the
And they're treated like shit.
Wow.
The actual Indians over there, they treat them like they, like they
matter of
second
fact,
class citizens.
Treat 'em
man.
like
You even got-
Basically treat them like niggas, like how we're treated over here.
You got
So they can go to the, like if there was if any one of them was watching the videos and they hear how we go into the curses of what happened to us and why we ended up in these conditions, they'd be like, what, this sounds very like our situation. Why we treated like they'll read that and kind of gravitate. Then they'll start to do more thorough research and look into stuff. It'll start to make sense to them. They be like, what, we might be one of the scattered Israelites,
Same with the Negritos,
living amongst the
right?
nations. Same with the Negritos.
Yeah.
You got brothers in Africa
Yeah.
waking up to being Israelites.
Yeah.
You're gonna have brothers that are Italian,
Yeah.
Sicilian brothers.
Hey, Boston.
Hey, and what is
full
one
of
of the curses?
Irish.
What is one of the curses when it pertaining to Jake? Thou shalt be a proverb and a byword among all nations, right?
Salaki, it says more than 160 million people in India are considered untouchable. People tainted by their birth into a caste system that deems them impure, less than human.
Treated like niggas.
Yeah, 3/5 of a human, or that's what they consider us.
Right?
Because you had
But you
Jakes
see
that
how
were
that
brought over
lines
there
up.
in captivity.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, man.
It's true.
Hey, I was gonna mention was dealing with those Italians.
Yeah.
It was a movie that came out in the 90s called True Romance. I don't know if y'all remember that
That's
movie.
what, yeah, I do.
Schwarzenegger?
No.
Oh no.
That's True
That's True Lies.
True Romance.
True Romance.
That was written by Tarantino, by the way.
Tarantino.
And that was what's his
Christian.
name?
What is his name?
But he broke it down.
There was a scene
Yeah, he
where
broke
he was
that
basically
down,
breaking
who
it
they
down to
Yeah.
who was it, man?
His name was
It wasn't the
Dennis
Vito.
Hopper is who's in that scene now.
Yeah,
But I remember that. He was beat up and he was like a cop. I remember that scene.
yeah.
It's a good movie. Actually, I was
Christopher
looking at
Walken was in it.
Yeah, Christopher Walken was in that.
He was in it. He was the mobster in it.
Yes.
And Christian
Bill.
Bill.
No. Somebody sold it. Dennis Hopper was the other guy though.
Yeah.
That was sitting there and he broke that whole thing down.
It was where's he at? Yeah, Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
I know Gary Oldman was in
You
it.
had Michael Rappaport.
Yeah. That was a good ass movie, man.
Samuel Jackson was in it. Chris
course he
Penn
was
was
in
in it.
Yeah.
But basically, it was a scene where, he was basically breaking down to him about how Sicilians are basically the niggas,
Yeah, they're black.
Of
They're black.
Europe.
Yeah.
you know.
Those was the
And-
they considered more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
Word
that's
more
their
means
that's
black.
their you know a lot not all of them but a lot of them they could trace their lineage back to the Moors, man,
Irish too.
and the Irish.
And the Scottish.
And you know what they
All
actually
of the
called
Got
them
me.
in Europe?
What?
They called them niggerwops.
Who?
The Italian, the southern Italians, the
Oh, okay.
Sicilians.
Yeah, because they was getting
They were
into
being
it with
called
other people
N-wops.
Bro.
You know, that's a byword, man. And then you had
Black Irish.
the New York governor, Democratic governor, Andrew Cuomo. He was actually quoting something to the fact that they called Southern Italians nigger wops. The same, just like how they call so-called African Americans, the N-word. And he actually was under scrutiny for saying that. These people were so damn sensitive, they thought he was being racist by mentioning the fact that they were called the
Here's the
N-word.
historical facts of it.
Con. And people, they put him on blast for that, But he was actually speaking a fact, because the Edomite Europeans, they was looking down upon those Italians, like, y'all, them is niggas.
And
They got nigger blood flowing through them, even
lot
though
of-
they look like us.
A lot of them Italians kept some of the customs of the Israelites too, like not dealing with another man's wife.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
They don't fuck with that shit.
They don't. It's a lot of
Yeah,
customs
integrity,
that we keep that
huge.
they keep, and it's spiritual because the Israelites.
It's like a certain code of ethic
Yeah,
that they go
yeah.
by.
Yeah, kind.
Like
Most-
even with
most
their
heathens don't have
mobs
that.
and
Mhm.
mafias,
Yeah, kind,
mafia.
kind.
they have
Built
certain
upon
play
it.
that.
It's structured
You don't
just like
enter
our
another
they have
man's
certain
house.
codes that they go by.
Yeah.
If a man's not
Another
home,
good.
it's like it.
No, my bad.
If
Yeah.
you don't, if you can't enter into another man's house if a man's not there,
Right,
whether
right.
it be the son or whether it be the
Right,
father
you
or
don't go in
somebody.
his
But that is a no-no. You will die.
Another movie that not even Casino, Ghost Dog.
Oh yeah.
Ghost Dog. Niggas, Indians, same thing. Everybody in
Oh
the
yeah,
movie
kind,
was
kind,
a damn
kind.
chick.
Everybody was in
Yeah.
All the mobs that
Italian
my
mobs.
favorite was always Flavor Flav from Public Enemy. An Italian mob boss at the table talking about this shit,
Yeah.
He went into rapping about Flavor Flav and Public Enemy. Man, that's a Jake. You start looking at him and seeing how they operate, it was a Jake, man.
Right.
So I mean, just looking at the overall spirit of a man, like the real integrity of him, and see what he really built upon. Because most Edomites is gonna lie or cause some disruption or mischief.
You already know.
You already kind of feel that about him.
I question one today. And every time you have a civilized conversation, Slocky, every time you have a civilized conversation with him about what's going on, because he was like, I got black friends, and most of them will tell you that. And I'm like, okay, well, if you got black friends, can y'all, because instead of bullshitting and playing around, can you actually have a civilized conversation like, man, my ancestors enslaved your people, or like, just go into them different topics.
Different facts.
And they get offended, and he was like, I don't want to talk. I got somewhere to go. Stop following me.
Get
Like
Revelation.
they man.
Yeah.
But you can last to talk about basketball with us, though. Y'all love that to keep us in this rapture. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I already know. So that's why I don't got no respect for white folks.
Go get Isaiah 14:21.
Kind.
And I ain't even.
Yeah,
And I don't even hate him. I ain't got respect for him.
You do whoever gets which one first, it don't matter. And the reason I'm bringing these scriptures out, bring that out right there. I kind of wanted that one.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children.
Hey, because any Jake be like, hey, those are my friends. They don't compartmentalize their friends. They're all compartmentalized as friends. So I got black friends. That's not how you do it.
And they be, I don't see color. Like they
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, you see your enemy. You see those that you're cool to a certain level with.
Right.
You don't see the big picture. Like us, we don't see, like, I see a brother. I see a brother. I see a
Right.
brother. And if it was a fellow believer,
Hey, this the same Slocky. This the same one who was talking about the Egyptian. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, I went side by side. He said, yeah,
we know.
Oh, you already know him?
Syrup soup and spaghetti.
We ain't worried about it.
That's
he don't.
That's a straight
just all
bugger.
that.
That dude's a straight
He
bugger.
right. We already know.
Enough said, I guess.
We know that that's full of shit, yes. But my point was, Jake is naturally gonna speak things a certain way. They're gonna be sensitive, if you will.
Right.
They're gonna be understanding to how they word things around certain people because of their shame to what happened. But most
Exactly.
Edomites when they bring up slavery and stuff like that, they have this air like, yeah, I know our people fucked up. We enslaved your people, and they kind of have that like, you ain't mad about it because you know you got privilege because of that.
They don't admit it, and they beat around the bush. I was asking the Edomite about questions about the scripture, like I said, you know what I'm saying, what you think about judgment, what you think. I was like, so you know Christ is coming back, right? Because he said he believed in the Bible. He was like, yes. And I was like, okay, so you know Christ is coming back with a sword? He said, yeah. And I was like, okay, so what is he, and you know he's gonna kill a lot of people, right? He said, yes. And I was like, okay, so why is he gonna do that? And he was like, oh, because of the faith and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they go into.
You never want to pull out his own judgment.
You already, exactly. That was my whole point. That was my whole point.
Bring that out, bro.
Said, chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his
That
children.
whole chapter, I love that whole chapter. Go ahead. I mean, that's a beautiful chapter, bro.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
Hey, that wasn't me. I like black people.
And they
How
always
come I like good people. And if that doesn't fit you, you know, I don't like bad Israelites. I don't like bad people. I like good people. Right. If a Edomite, I'll say it this harshly. If an Edomite comes up and he's just straightforward about it, and he don't even have to be sorrowful or repentful for what he's done, you know, in his past life or what his ancestors did. Right. You don't have to. But just
keep
be
it real.
But be authentic as you.
Right.
I can appreciate you.
That's all I was telling dude. That's all I was telling him. Like, bro, why you can't keep it 100? You
got
black friends. How come
it's
y'all
okay.
never? If y'all really friends, y'all gonna know like, boom, what's going on is what's going on. Even if they not in the truth, ain't nothing you can do about it.
You never want to bring that type of stuff because he don't know that Jake might snap and do the shit that he would do in the opposite situation. That's the real truth. Because his wicked nature, he might actually do what, like he said in Django. DiCaprio said in Django, said, I watched your daddy cut shave my father for all these years. And I always wondered,
why?
All of this going on, why would he not cut my daddy's throat? He got the razor to his throat. Why would he never cut?
Right, why he ain't, yeah.
Why he ain't use it on his basically? I would have done it and I would have took me 2 minutes to do it or whatever. I forgot how he said it. Because he knows what he would do. You know what I'm saying? The Edomite knows what he would do, and he does what he would do in that situation. Right. And he treats you like you would do what he would do in that situation. Right. And that's where our people truly lose at. We truly lose because we don't see the face of our enemy when we see our enemies.
Yeah. You don't know who our enemy is.
I think we know who they. I think we know what they about. Some Jakes is too scared. Some of them is hard on the rapture.
You said it.
Some of them is just like,
the
man, it is what it is.
Fear is the number one problem. I'm not trying to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you, but the fear, like you said, is exactly the point. A lot of them scared because they seen the power this man had. When you read that chapter, you see how this man breaks it down.
Isaiah 14, the 14th chapter.
Man, it's a beautiful chapter.
13 is good too.
Yeah. I mean, the whole
Jake
book
is
good.
like the scriptures say. Jake is counted down as a lion. You know.
Who will rouse him up? What is it going to take for you to get roused up? Another pulled over at gunpoint by another cop? More people shot down innocently?
Jake is trained. He's been trained for many years. His spirit is broken and domesticated.
Yeah, that's right.
He's under heavy psychosis from all the left hand shit that Esau puts in his face. So Esau ain't got to worry about these niggas. They're gonna rise up against their master.
What the most?
Hey, that lion in the zoo. He's supposed to tear that crazy ass bitch. Yeah. He's supposed to rip her to pieces, man.
What you doing in my domain?
But when that lion, he's broke. He's broken, man. He's trained.
Yeah.
He in slavery.
Talking about in the zoo when they be in the zoo.
No.
There was a lady hopped in.
There was a nigga woman.
Oh yeah,
bugged out nigga woman
in Jersey or somewhere.
She jumped into the thing and started taunting the lion, and the lion was just sitting there, just like, what the fuck is going on? You know?
Hey, do you bear witness that the energy? You know what I'm saying? If she knew what she was doing, because we them type of people.
She had demons.
He said she had
demons. The Most High basically spared her. Basically.
For that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
He spared her in that moment for sure. But yeah, animals are supposed to vibe with us like that.
Yeah.
When we're in our righteous state. That lady ain't in her righteous state. She's still in
that lion wasn't in his natural
state. He's not in his natural state.
Because he's in the damn zoo.
Right.
I bet her ass wouldn't jump out the Jeep in a safari.
Yeah. Do the same thing in a safari.
She wouldn't do that shit to not necessarily a lion. None of them animals out there.
Bro, her ass was in the giraffe exhibit too, bro. She threw
South Central LA, and then go in the back where Hector got his red noses and shit.
Kind.
See if she could talk one of them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read that thing, Bubba. So read that one and then you ready.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Yeah, so they gotta catch their judgment. But it wasn't me. I'm not like that. Well, they died and dished on me, bro. Sorry. But somebody gotta pay that tab. Y'all ain't
You
about
was
to
left
eat
with
for
the
free.
short end of the stick.
You didn't get the memo that everybody's about to run. You gotta pay for that. Or you need to choose better friends.
You're not gonna restore the
paying for
pledge.
it, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know? How could these people make shit right? And I'm talking about this is centuries of shit they done done.
Oh, yeah.
How could they make that right within an instance?
Yeah.
There's no way possible that they can make that right.
There's nothing they can
There's
do.
nothing they can
It's
do.
too
Not
much.
enough money.
Too much-
nothing.
Too much was done.
Too much blood, bro.
Yeah.
This is
It's records of stuff that we don't even know
Yeah,
about.
kind.
That,
records of stuff. And the stuff not on record.
yeah, that we don't even, that
Yeah.
it's just between that slave or that Jake and that Edomite or whatever.
Yeah.
That the only the Most High knows.
Right.
And that and our spirits go up to the Heavenly Father. We're crying out.
Yeah.
You know, like Abel.
Yeah. The blood of Abel cried unto me.
Yeah.
I'm crying out. Now get that one in Revelation.
Revelations 13 and 9. Revelations 13 verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
You don't want to hear that.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Those that are cleansed from the BS of the world, sanctified, or saints, right? When you're cleansed from that BS, you start realizing this is the only thing that's going to work for this man. For me to feel balanced back from what he's done. I mean, look how bad it is for us. We can't. I mean, everything we do, we can't eat good food. We can't earn our own living. We can't.
Drink good water.
Water,
Gotta pay for
air, nothing. He's corrupted everything that we're involved in. And it's all his fault. Going back to reincarnation, back to that serpent man. And Eve, lying to Eve's ass. He was the first transgressor, if you really want to go deep about it. He the first one to lie. He lied. He came off lying to Eve. Now she was fucked up because she listened. But then that wasn't the custom to listen to another man. She should have never listened. But he still went and pushed that out on her. And then he came back and killed an innocent man. Murder. Then he came back as Esau. It's like, damn. Huh? He was a murderer from the beginning.
That's what it
The
said.
both not in the truth.
Yes.
Dude was always on some bullshit. So the only remedy for this guy is to wipe his ass off the planet. And that's from the creator himself. He was created to serve a purpose. Once his purpose is over, his service and his existence needs to be over.
He poking out his chest now because he knows his time is short.
Like now he's thinking he's Superman. He's trying to give one last bravado.
You know what I mean?
You know, pride and pomp. Hey, I'm gonna do this and he's gonna come down with
Force,
it.
I'm gonna chip everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change everybody's genetic makeup.
Man.
He's trying to get everything covered.
Yeah.
They got the 2030 agenda.
Yeah.
You know? By 2030, they plan on doing all basically everything.
Robots
Everything
around
should be
here.
full.
That's they plan, but the Most High,
2021.
it's
It ain't in his right.
it's the Most High's plan.
If it ain't in Yahweh plan, bro, it ain't ordained.
Yeah. This is Psalms. This is Psalms 33 and verse 10. It says, "The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught.
Kind.
He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. The counsel of the Lord standeth forever. The thoughts of his heart to all generations."
Right.
You know?
Everybody got to deal with what the Most High is doing.
We all are subject to the Most High's will. Even Esau's bitch ass.
Kind.
So he's only going to do what the Most High is going to allow him to do.
Right.
Only he who
That's
let it.
crazy, bro.
Now, who will let it.
He going
That's
crazy.
Only because the Most High allowed him to go to this level is why it's
He
going to happen.
magnified him for what? So he can
It's a
show his
purpose.
power.
Yep.
Yep.
Romans
what
the
if-
9th chapter.
Yep. What if I willing to show my power unto the vessels fitted for destruction,
Yep.
and my wrath fitted for the vessels
Dishonor.
fitted to destruction, and mercies to those fit for